I can always have an honest conversation with you.
You know what? I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Open, honest conversation, dialogue. So important in any type of relationship.
It's so important. I think that's why we partner together.
Right.
Absolutely.
So on this episode, we talk about
how to have honest conversations.
Here's the thing. A lot of people, I think, fail to understand having honest conversation comes from one major thing is really getting to know yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to really dig into who you are as a person. You really have to know and own your flaws, your shortcomings, but also know what your strengths are, you know.
And let's be honest, if you have to think about how to have honest conversations, you may need more work than you think.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So.
Yeah. I've got maybe about 2 or 3 techniques.
Let's share. Let's do this.
I'd love to. Technique number 1. I've tried this, folks, where sometimes it's difficult for me to focus. And and when I can't focus, I'm not in the moment with my audience or the opposing individual I'm having a conversation with, and I'm not listening. Mm-hmm. So one of the best things you can do to prepare yourself, because honesty does take preparation. Is it natural all the time? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Are we inclined to be honest all the time? I don't think so, unfortunately.
Really?
Anyway, what I've done is enhance my listening by taking some quiet time and actually listening to a topic that I'm not familiar with through any social media stream. I make sure I have no distractions and I listen to the entire content all the way through.
Without saying anything?
Without saying anything. It's not a topic of interest. I stress that. Wow. So I'm really trying to be in the present, try to focus, and try to learn.
I'm going to take something from you.
And I think some of those, that background exercise helps towards and contributes to being honest.
It's practice.
It might be an opposite type of technique, but very complementary. Because I think for a lot of us, in some areas of life, not all, but the particular areas of life where we're challenged, and being honest is vital, but we just don't have the practice. Mm-hmm. So how do we cultivate and generate and strengthen our honesty? What do you think about that?
I think what the technique that you're doing goes with what I was aligning what I was going to say. You have to be present. You really have to be present with the situation, be present with the person you're having the conversation with. And be just honestly listening and being present. So what you're doing technically is you're teaching yourself to be present in something that you do not know, probably don't care to know, but you have to learn to listen, to comprehend.
Absolutely.
And also be present in that moment of however long that video is. It's great practice.
I agree.
Great
and
practice.
We all think, MelodicMic, that we know what honesty is. But sometimes we really don't know what authentic honesty is. Therefore, the second technique is study honesty. Actually look it up in the dictionary and really understand the different parameters that honesty is really used. Mm-hmm. And what does it mean to you? It could be part of your value system. It could be something that you're striving to be more adjacent to because you want to incorporate that skill, you want to strengthen it. So, find out for you. We all know generally what honesty means. Right. For example, to you it might mean truth, but to really understand for yourself the deeper meaning of what honesty represents to you.
Oh, to you.
And that may mean making a list or writing it down or hearing it over and over to really strengthen the term, the definition, the meaning, and then that will complement your behaviors accordingly, or it'll be part of it.
Right.
So, for example, my list might be, well, honesty means integrity, respect, truth, and I may want to really list that, or I may want to really do a mental visualization, and I'm really strengthening my definition and understanding what does honesty mean. And when I give it a new meaning, wow, I change my behavior.
Can I add something?
Please.
When you do that and you figure out, I guess, your definition of what honesty means to you.
Okay.
One thing that I want people to really understand is that whatever you define it, act upon it. So don't expect this from other people that they should be honest to you based on your definition of what honesty is. But you have to be the example of that definition also. So don't, it's a two-way street. So if you're saying, okay, I want this person to be like this to me, well, in turn, you should be the same way.
I agree. You should reciprocate.
Yeah.
And I think a good exercise is the next time you know you need to have a more than usual honest conversation, really prepare with a few of these techniques, and there's so many others out there, before you have that honest conversation. And don't worry about the opposing party and their feedback, their commentary, etc. But really focus on strengthening your own communication style and skills and listening, and really practicing being honest by giving feedback, by giving advice, by giving suggestions, by training somebody, or just being an amazing listener. These are so hard. The hardest two areas I can think of where we really need to continue to practice is our personal relationships,
right,
and in our professional lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. I can't tell you I've had so many honest conversations, but not enough where it's gotten any easier. They vary. So sometimes I've got to vary my mental state.
I also want to say something. When you set up to have an honest conversation with someone, right?
Oh, right.
Actually prepare that, like you're saying, because what I think a lot of people do is they think that they're about to have an honest conversation, and then they just kind of draw back because they don't want to offend the person.
Yes.
They don't fully even go into what they want to talk about. So really prepare on the thoughts, the topics that you're going to discuss, and really dig in and be honest about what you're about to say.
And expect a challenge.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, expect a challenge. You may even want to put some humor into it within yourself, and really say, I'm going to enjoy this challenge because I know I'm growing.
Right.
And finally, keep a focus on your pace, your tone, and your breath. It can really manage your emotions when you're speaking in difficult conversations.
But the biggest thing, be honest with yourself.
Yes, be honest with yourself.
All right?
It's not always easy to do.
No, it's not.
But we hope these techniques can give you a starting point on that race.
Let us know.
Because you'll always need to know some of these techniques, and we all need to strengthen them.
Absolutely. Subscribe. Let us know what you think. How's this going to affect you, and how is this going to work for you?
Infinite thanks for watching The Mac Show. I'm Anita Kay.
I'm MelodicMic.